Hi, this is Blair. Thank you so much for attending tonight. I'm really excited about sharing this webinar with you. My name is Diane Blair Hickey, however people call me Blair. The webinar is about 15 minutes long, and I really want to respect people's time, so I'm going to answer all questions at the end of the presentation. You can ask questions in the chat box at the lower left corner of your screen, or you can just type it in. We'll talk about it at the end. An African safari is an experience that leaves you forever changed. There's something powerful when you see large animals in their natural environment. They know you're there, and yet they don't pay any attention to you, allowing you a National Geographic type glimpse into their world. Like many people, I had a lifelong dream to go on an African safari. When I went, I found it was a very eye-opening and much richer experience than I could have imagined. Most of the photos on this presentation I took on my own trip. There are some that were taken by clients that I booked on safaris. One of the things that I discovered is that South Africa is a blend of cultures from all over the world, including India, Germany, African tribal nations, and Dutch, that creates a fascinatingly rich, multi-layered experience. I want more people to be able to have the experience I had. One of the things that hold people back from a safari is the cost of the trip. So I've meticulously crafted a one-of-a-kind package that's not been offered before and is not available anywhere else and is a great value. But first, let's learn something about South Africa. South Africa is located at the very tip of southern Africa and has different terrains, climates, and cultures, all within its border. You'll find stunning beaches, tropical jungles, beautiful mountains, and even the Kalahari Desert. There's also a multitude of microclimates that result in plants that grow nowhere else in the world and also create some of the best wine-growing regions in the world. After seeing South Africa firsthand, I realized that there are 6 reasons that South Africa is a great fit for a once-in-a-lifetime safari experience. First, the roads in Africa are equivalent to what we have in the U.S., except, of course, they drive on the other side of the road. There's an efficient and well-maintained highway system, making travel easy and comfortable. On the game preserves and some of the secondary roads leading to the game preserves, the roads, of course, are dirt, but on these roads you can see wildlife even before you get into the game lodge. 2, no visas are required for U.S. citizens visiting South Africa for 90 days or less. 3, the medical facilities in South Africa are of a very high standard. You may remember that the very first heart transplant operation was done here in 1967. 4, there's a very high level of sanitation, and you can drink the water directly from the tap, and the food is as safe as it is in the U.S. 5, English is widely spoken. Even though there's 11 official languages, you'll have no trouble communicating. When I was there, I was able to talk to people that were cleaners and clerks, and everybody spoke English. It just wasn't a problem. 6, the rand, which is the currency of South Africa, is at an all-time low against the dollar, making South Africa very affordable. I'm going to sneak a 7th in here. There are superb game viewing experiences in open-top vehicles, which make game watching easier. Cape Town is one of the largest cities in South Africa and is also the starting point for this exciting trip. Cape Town has a moderate climate and is ideally situated for day trips to the Winelands region to the northeast, the Cape of Good Hope to the south, and a short flight to some of the best game preserves in all of Africa to see large game. But the city of Cape Town and surrounding areas is a treasure trove of experiences and has been voted the most beautiful city in the world by many publications. There are sweeping views of Table Mountain on one side and the ocean on the other. I'm sure there's more, but I feel that there are 8 extraordinary experiences you can have in the vicinity of Cape Town. 1, a blend of cultures is what makes Cape Town the dining capital of South Africa. Cape Town's diverse multicultural ancestry has enjoyed the influence of many cooking traditions: Italian, Malay, Chinese, Japanese, Moroccan, French, Portuguese, Congolese, Greek, Brazilian, Thai, and Korean. Excuse me. Cape Town is renowned for its diverse, stylish restaurants and excellent food, always complemented by the range of superb local wines which are grown nearby. The top 5 cuisines are Cape Malay, Indian, African, seafood, and Afrikaans. Cape Malay cuisine is typically spicy, but it can also be sweet. It includes dishes such as curries, pickled fish, and a variety of fish stews. Bunny chow is an Indian dish. It's made with chicken, not bunnies, and it consists of half a loaf of bread with its center scooped out, and it's filled with your choice of curry. Corn and maize have long been the basis of African cuisine. Corn can be eaten off the cob, made into porridge or dumplings, and even made into beer. Foods most commonly attributed to the Afrikaner culture are based on Dutch cuisine, with contributions from French and German immigrants and the Cape Malay population. Sausages, braai, which is the African term for barbecue, meat stew, cooked over a fire in a cast iron pot, are a few of the traditional Afrikaans dishes. Braai, the traditional barbecue, which is pictured here, is especially popular and available all over South Africa. If you're not an adventurous eater, more familiar foods are also available. From the Victoria and Albert waterfront, you can enjoy elegant dining and shopping while watching the clouds roll over Table Mountain, which is referred to as the tablecloth. You can also visit the trendy old biscuit mill, which houses galleries, craft shops, a wine emporium, chocolatier, and some of the city's best restaurants. 2. You can take a slowly rotating cable car to the top of iconic Table Mountain to see the stunning views. The top of Table Mountain is flat with paved trails. Where there's no large wildlife, the birds and small mammals are not afraid of people, so you can get close enough to get good photos like this one that I took of the sunbird. Or this grumpy horax that was surrounded by several photographers and was not in the least bit shy. 3. You can take a ferry to Robben Island, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, where you can visit the prison and see the cell where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 18 of his 27 years of incarceration. The tours are led by political prisoners that used to be imprisoned here. 4. No visit to Cape Town is complete without a stroll through the most beautiful garden in Africa, the Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens, one of the most highly acclaimed botanical gardens in the world. The garden includes 5 of South Africa's 6 different biomes and was declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2004, making Kirstenbosch the first botanic garden in the world to be included within a Natural World Heritage Site. 5. Boulders Beach is a sheltered beach made up of inlets between granite boulders from which the name originated. Cape Town and her surrounding coastline offer some wonderful beaches, but none are more interesting than the Boulders Beach in nearby Simonstown. This beach is home to a breeding colony of over 2,000 endangered African penguins. You can walk comfortably along a boardwalk and get within a few feet of these endearing birds. If you walk further down the beach, there is no boardwalk, and you can even swim the penguins for a real dose of cuteness overload. Although Cape Point is not the most southerly tip of Africa, as many people believe, it is one of the most beautiful parts of the African continent. The Cape Point Nature Preserve can be reached by the funicular called the Flying Dutchman to enjoy the famous ocean views that are more than 650 feet above the sea. You can then take the short but steep hike to Cape Point Lighthouse while delighting in the extensive range of native flora and fauna that you'll find here, some of which occur nowhere else on Earth. The trails have so many native flowers like these fynbos. It's easy to forget that they're unique to this tiny corner of South Africa and exist nowhere else in the world. The most surprising aspect is also the amount of wildlife you can see here. You can spot some 250 species of birds, including seabirds, eagles, Cape sugarbirds, and sunbirds, as well as the endangered African black oyster catchers. Mammal species found in the Cape Point Nature Reserve include antelope such as klipspringer, steenbok, and eland, as well as Cape Mountain zebra, and the peninsula's endemic baboons. You can't miss the baboons. They're on the lookout for people who don't obey the advisory to not carry any kind of food. They're very bold, and they will steal it from you. They've even been known to break into cars if they're left open. Shy predators such as the caracal and the small spotted genet patrol the crags, and the Cape clawless otter, such as pictured here, frolic in rock pools. 7. Take a winelands tour. Now, I'm from central New York, near the Finger Lakes wine-growing region, so this really didn't appeal to me. However, I discovered that spending a day exploring this magnificent part of Africa's Western Cape Province and enjoying sampling its magnificent wines was pure pleasure. The Cape's wine routes are among the most scenic in the world, featuring many historic wine estates that date back centuries. It reminded me of being in Europe. I also bought a case of wine on the winelands tour. It was some of the best wine I've ever tasted, and it was under $10 a bottle. But by the time the import tax and shipping was included, it was $25 a bottle. It's still worth every cent. It's probably best, rather than shipping the wine home, to buy it stateside, or, better yet, drink it in South Africa. For those of you who like architecture like I do, most Cape wine estates are characterized by classic Cape Dutch-style buildings and massive vineyards with picturesque mountains as a backdrop. There's a distinct European influence in a number of these regions, thanks to the arrival of the French Huguenot, Dutch, and German settlers during the 18th century. 8. See great white sharks. If you just want to try something really different, South Africa is the only country in the world where it's relatively easy to see great white sharks. About a 2 to a 2.5 hour drive from Cape Town and a 20-minute boat ride will take you to Shark Alley, where there are more great white sharks in the world than any place else. Here you can don snorkel gear, get into a steel cage, and see great whites. I hope by now that you can see that the Cape Town area offers many diverse and interesting experiences. Some you might not have expected. South Africa is synonymous with wildlife and nature. Here you'll find the Big Five, but so much more. Myriad species amid dramatic, unspoiled landscapes, a sophisticated food scene amid a melting pot of cultures. Whatever your interest, you can expect your soul to be touched forever. The next webinar will be held on Wednesday, May 25th at 7:30, and will be about what the safari experience is like. You'll be emailed a link to register for the second webinar. Now here's a 15-second taste of what to expect next. Here's my contact information, so for any reason you want to contact me, you have a question that you thought of after the webinar, feel free to contact me. So I'm open for taking questions now. Let's see what we've got. Okay, what are the Big Five? Okay, the Big Five refers to the lion, buffalo, elephant, leopard, and rhino. They were first referred to as the Big Five by hunters because these are the animals that were hardest to hunt. There's also a marine Big Five, which includes the great white shark, dolphin, penguin, Cape fur seal, and the southern right whale. On the safari package I've created, you'll have actually the opportunity to see all of these except possibly the right whale, which migrates seasonally and it may not be around. Anybody else have any other questions? Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much. There will be a recording of this webinar that I'm going to send out if you want to listen to it. And as I said, feel free to call me. Thank you so much.